Hi guys, welcome to the Really Good Podcast with your host, Bobbi Althoff.
I'm not an anythinger. I don't have any talents.
How'd you become an influencer or creator?
Just wanting to make money. It's just constructive criticism. It can be a little mean, but yeah, it doesn't bother me too much.
Just hard to imagine finding someone who is truly good for you. It's hard to imagine there's a world where there's someone who's actually meant for you.
Bobbi Althoff just went from internet fame to being broke and homeless. She's the girl who first blew up online by making funny, sarcastic mom content.
Yes, I did name my daughter Richard.
There is nothing more embarrassing than walking around with one of these.
And later built a brand around her unique deadpan comedy. Her podcast style was unlike anything else. Short, ruthless questions, blunt and emotionless answers, and a brutally awkward atmosphere that somehow kept people hooked.
You can leave now.
This is my hotel. I paid for this motherfucker. You can leave now.
Her big breakout moment came when she interviewed Drake in his bed, a video that racked up nearly 10 million views.
Your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
But then, out of nowhere, the interview got deleted. Bobbi's identity wasn't just the awkward podcaster. She was also a mom, influencer, and mental health advocate. At her peak, she had 8 million TikTok followers, 1.5 million YouTube subscribers, and a net worth of around $4 million. But now, that net worth is dropping fast, her podcast is no longer running, and her career is collapsing. And just like that, Bobbi Althoff has gone from being one of the internet's fastest rising stars to broke and homeless. So, how did this downfall happen? Let's find out in this video. From the very start, Bobbi Althoff was just a TikToker. She blew up online with her parody mommy blogger content, and honestly, I have no idea why people even liked it.
Yes, I did name my daughter Richard. I just always really loved the name Richard, and I wanted a boy, but I had a girl, and I decided to name her Richard anyway.
There is nothing more embarrassing than walking around with one of these. Everyone knows how it got there. You know what you did.
It was embarrassing, awkward, and at times straight up weird. The baby wasn't even born yet, and she was already turning it into a money-making product. Still, she was running up the numbers, gaining millions of followers, racking up millions of views on each video, and pulling in a couple $100,000 a year. And yes, she even admitted that herself.
I was making around $250 to $300 a year.
Thousand.
Yeah.
From brand
deals on TikTok.
Wow.
And 250 is great and all, but it's hard to come up with content with just me every day.
$250,000 a year as an annual income is great and all.
Yes.
It is great.
It is great.
Yeah, definitely. When someone makes $250,000 a year from creating content that's honestly kind of disgusting, it definitely feels like a win for them. But this is where Bobbi claims she parlayed that TikTok fame into her podcast success.
Hi guys, welcome to the Really Good Podcast with your host, Bobbi Althoff.
Right from episode 1, people started suspecting she might be an industry plant. Why? Mainly because she was suddenly rubbing shoulders with huge names. She was literally in bed with 6ix9ine, and not long after, she was showing off Mark Cuban's, let's just say, questionable antics.
I believe in my podcast, so I'm trying my best. I've had a few guests, some D-list celebrities.
And it wasn't just the weird connections that sparked the industry plant rumor. Within just 1 week of launching her podcast, she had the top talent agency in the entire entertainment industry representing her and her brand, booking one celebrity guest after another. It quickly became obvious that her growth wasn't organic at all. People noticed this immediately online, and they didn't hold back from calling her out to her face as well.
I know. You're not an industry plant, right?
I am, but
you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely planty.
You got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
What I think industry plant is, it's somebody that has been that is tied to someone else in the industry and uses those connections to capitalize, and they have zero talent.
I'm not an anythinger. I don't have any talents.
Thank you very much, Bobbi Althoff, for at least admitting one thing, that you don't really have any real talent and we're just manipulating people's minds by sharing disgusting content fully focused on making money and nothing else. At least you've confessed that yourself. But as for the Queen, I don't even know if that title fits her, so if you have a better suggestion, let me know. Later on, she even admitted in another interview that all the criticism really broke her down mentally.
Based on what the comments are saying, and sometimes it's just constructive criticism. It can be a little mean, but yeah, it doesn't bother me too much.
And guys, do you know what's actually shocking me? I really feel like Bobbi Althoff and the Hawktua girl were on the same wavelength, and just as quickly as they rose, they both fell off. At least for Hawktua, there was a massive scandal that completely derailed her career. I mean, scamming your fans with zero remorse will do that to anyone. But Bobbi, I think people just got tired of her sarcastic, too cool to be here, one-trick pony act. And whenever she was in a room with someone like Offset, who could read her like a book, she ended up looking foolish, still trying to pull off that same act.
You wanted to be on my podcast.
Why you keep saying that shit, man? I honestly didn't even want to do this shit. I don't fucking do interviews. I'm fucking with you because they're making me. You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish. You need some motherfucking seasoning, man.
You can leave now.
This is my hotel. I paid for this motherfucker. You can leave now.
Just look at the reaction. I don't even know if this humiliation was scripted or real, but her expression, it's like the final stage, the moment when the tears are just waiting to fall. Beyond this, the main public ridicule she faced, apart from the industry plant narrative, was that she allegedly broke up her own family just to hang out in social circles with famous people. Then came her most controversial moment, the interview with Drake in his bed. At first, it seemed like a big win, but later it sparked massive backlash across the internet.
You know,
I flew all the way here
you did. I really do appreciate
on my daughter's
that.
first birthday.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
You missed your daughter's first birthday for
To be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Now, when Drake is calling you a bad parent, you know something's definitely off. Speaking of Drake, the guy was so down bad that he ended up in Bobbi's Instagram comments begging her to unblock his name. Honestly, embarrassing. Either way, despite being married at the time of these early interviews, she kept asking her guests questions like whether they'd smash her, just adding fuel to the controversy surrounding her.
Would you date someone that looks like me? Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
I mean, imagine being her husband and seeing all of that. He actually filed for divorce about a month after the Drake episode dropped, which led to rumors that Drake had given her some kind of initiation, if you know what I mean. After that, she gained a reputation for being passed around in the industry. Ryan Garcia was even reportedly chasing her around like it was a schoolyard crush, and later confirmed they hooked up during a Twitter rant. She was also seen being drunkenly carried out of clubs, and had an embarrassing moment when she tried to soft launch a guy she was dating, only for the FBI, aka social media, to find out it was some NFL player who completely denied ever being with her. That fiasco caused her TikTok to crash hard.
Just like hard to imagine finding someone who is truly good for you. It's hard to imagine there's a world where there's like someone who's actually meant for you. Dating is just hard, you guys. Like,
Well, now Bobbi has officially announced that she's ending her podcast, which honestly surprised me considering she was still occasionally getting decent guests and hundreds of thousands of views. But when you compare it to her peak, where she was getting over 1 million views per episode and landing top-level guests, things were looking pretty rough. Most of the people she was interviewing recently weren't really known, and her solo episodes barely got any views at all. Either way, she essentially hosted a funeral for her own podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Really Good Podcast. All jokes aside, all honesty, this is the last episode. In honor of the last episode, my sister and I are going to sing a song. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya?
I mean, just look at her hosting her last episode. She was clearly trying to make it funny, or at least, I don't even know what to call it. After watching it, the real question is, do we laugh or do we cry? I honestly don't know. That said, even up until last year, someone was still funneling money into her career, trying to make her a thing. They were pushing for positive PR with outlets like Business Insider and other media known to take money for interviews or think pieces on celebrities.
The Really Good Podcast. She was a great podcast. She got me this house, got me the car I drive. She got me a lot of stuff, and she was really great. I really did appreciate her for the time I had with her. And she brought me a lot of memories and a lot of great guests. I will miss doing this podcast, and I will miss the money this podcast brought me.
Over time, it's become abundantly clear that from the very start, this was all about money and fame for Bobbi, something she openly admitted was her main goal in life, even when she was young.
Mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
How do you become an influencer or creator?
Just wanting to make money.
In many ways, she represents a microcosm of our society, a clear example of how social media can completely warp people's minds.
From D-list to A-list. That's my goal in 10 years.
From D-list to A-list.
Yes.
I feel like over the last 2 to 3 years, there's been a noticeable change in the way women in particular present themselves online. Specifically on Instagram, there's this attitude where some of them act like they're famous or a spectacle to be admired, and honestly, I find that hilarious. I'm talking about everyday regular girls with 500 followers acting like their stuff doesn't stink. People in general have become so much more narcissistic than ever before, and social media is a huge part of why.
Podcast started off just with a girl with a dream to make more money. And I knew when I started that it was going to go places. I didn't know I would fall off as quickly as I did. To be honest, I did think this was going to last a bit longer. But nevertheless, it lasted a minute, and I'm proud of the accomplishments I have, and I'm pretty sad that it has to end like this, but it's okay.
Or maybe I should say they're just desperate for online validation, something that would have been considered really cringy back in the early days of social media. I'll give her credit, though, for at least acknowledging her fall off and openly admitting that she loves money. She ran like 10 ads in a single podcast episode, and the whole thing just came across as a big money grab. She kept saying things like, "Remember when I did this podcast? Remember when I did that podcast?" Clearly trying to remind people of her past glory.
And I will never forget the moment he told me that I was like unseasoned chicken.
It was basically one of those filler episodes, the kind where they just show a bunch of flashbacks from the show. You know, the one you always skip. She basically just cycles through all the interviews, plays a clip, and moves on, periodically throwing another ad in your face. I have a sneaking suspicion this might just be a pre-launch for some other show she's planning to do. But either way, this is how she chose to end her podcast.
Any final words for the podcast?
She really fell off.
No, it happened. People said
I don't know. Someone who loves fame and climbing the social ladder like Bobbi usually wouldn't just quit. My guess is this final episode, loaded with sponsor ads and posted on the last day of July, was just to fulfill contracts. Hardly anyone watched the full thing, and the comment section shows it. A mix of good riddance, complaints about ads, frame, to leaving her family to chase fame. It feels like the end of the Bobbi era. She might have had more longevity and money if she'd grown slowly instead of burning out fast. Maybe someone behind the scenes decided her industry plant phase was over, seeing that the hype and Business Insider coverage weren't translating. Honestly, the podcast space is oversaturated now, and the gold rush is over. But what do you guys think?